What's up, all of you hung white fucking thugs? It is Shane here with another Solo Stroke special, and today I kind of just want to go over my most favorite showings slash announcements from the most recent PlayStation State of Play event that they just held. Ever since the 2023 showcase, all the State of Plays between then and now, in my opinion, have been nothing but almost entirely dog shit and crickets. There's been a few cool announcements, mainly ones they've held out like towards the end of the State of Plays. I know Marvel, Toykin, Fighting Souls, and Ghost of Iote were a few of the bigger hitters that they announced, between that showcase and this one. But this one was pretty fucking good, and it's going to be really hard for me to collect my thoughts and decide on my favorites from it. Because honestly, every single thing that they showed or announced was just back to back fucking banger, 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 banger. But yeah, let's get into it. The first pick of my favorite showings from this event is the show opener, which was, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Kara Scars of Kosamora. I believe that's how you say it. Art style looks awesome. Great looking third person action adventure looking game. From what I can tell, this looks like the story is going to be really fucking good too. Apparently, this is from a IP that already existed. I believe the first entry of this came out in 2021. And just for some slight background here, between the years of around 2017, 2018 to 2021, I wasn't really involved too much in the gaming space anymore. So there's a lot of shit that I missed out on that since then I've been having to catch up with. And it looks like that original entry of this is one of those things that I'm going to have to put in the backlog and get done before it comes out. I believe this August. But yeah, great looking game. It has that like Pixar, like Insomniac games, like Ratchet and Clank looking like art style going on with it. If I had to compare it to anything, like the first thing I immediately thought of upon seeing the art style and like the combat and how everything looked was personally what I believe is the most fucking underrated game that came out last year, South of Midnight. It has that same like art style going on. The only thing it doesn't have going on is like the stop motion thing that South of Midnight had going on. Yeah, whenever that comes out, by the way, on PS5 here this spring, definitely cannot recommend it enough. Great little action adventure platformer. There's not a lot like it anymore. But yeah, anyways, that was definitely one of my favorites from this showing. Another announcement that's got me hyped as fuck is the announcement of the untitled John Wick game. Apparently, it's being developed by Saber Interactive, which they have a pretty good track record, in my opinion. They released that Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 game a few years ago. I've recently been playing through that. Awesome fucking game. It scratches that Gears and like old hack and slash like God of War itch for me. Amazing fucking game. And to me, it also is going to scratch that itch of not having a Splinter Cell game to play for the first time since I was like 12 when Blacklist came out. From the little pieces that they showed, except for that little pre-rendered cinematic thing they had going on, the pieces of gameplay they did show kind of gave me like Splinter Cell Conviction, Blacklist vibes in terms of like the variety and like the flow of the gameplay and how it looked. So yeah, it's Saber Interactive developing it. I think they're gonna do a great fucking job. They're pretty good with their, whenever it comes to the licensing side of game development, like licensed games, like how they used to do back in the day with like old PS2 games, but most of those were shitty. But this one looks like it's gonna be good. They have a pretty good track record. I don't have any doubts that it's gonna be peak as fuck. So yeah, that was another one of my more favorite announcements from the whole showing. My next favorite part from the event is it's a game that's already been announced, and before this I was very skeptical from everything I've seen up to this point, just because a lot of the gameplay and in the trailers, it looks super unpolished still, even though it's coming out in May. There's a lot of stuttering and like shuddering shit going on, and like the gameplay footage too. And usually you can deduce that down to stream quality and then re-upload based off of that. I know the most recent Resident Evil showcase has some weird stuttering, audio latency, fucked up issues. That's still on the Capcom channel. But 007 First Light, it looked fucking awesome. It looked a lot better than it did the last time they showed it. It looked a lot more smooth, a lot more fine-tuned and ironed out. All the models and the characters look a lot better. The developer, I forget who they are. I know they made the most recent Hitman games, but in comparison to those, because I know you can play the Hitman games any way you want to. That's the whole point. It's a big giant sandbox, but looks like it's carrying on the same thing here. It looks like it's going to be a lot more action-based from the gameplay I have seen. I haven't had an Uncharted game in a few years. I'm personally in the camp of I don't need another Uncharted game. I think A Thief's End ended perfectly, but if you give me any other third-person shooter game that plays similarly to that, and it's a fucking James Bond game, it's a 007 game, count me in, dude. It looks sick as shit. I'm going to wait and see if they show any more to make any final decisions, but very much a potential day one buy for me as well. Now, this next fucking one, I'm going to keep it 100% with you for a lot of reasons. I know the game's over 10 years old, over 15 years old, Jesus Christ. But for a lot of reasons, this might be my favorite announcement of the entire event. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2. Now, for any of y'all that know me in real life, there's a select few games that if it gets brought up, or if they get brought up, I won't shut the fuck up about. And the Metal Gear series is one of those. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is my favorite game ever fucking made. But with that being said, Master Collection, we're getting Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Two very explosive announcements, in my opinion, for another number of reasons. One, outside of emulation, RPCS X3, whatever the fuck the emulators call and all that. Outside of the PlayStation 3, you couldn't play Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. So I'm glad we're getting the 4K or 1080p 60 frames per second treatment with that. It doesn't seem like, with the Master Collections, they're not really remaking anything. I wonder if they're going to cut out the whole Blu-ray disc swapping dialogue from Otacon, or if they're going to have his voice actor come back in and do lines for each respective thing. I think that would actually be pretty fucking sick. It would be extra as fuck, but it would be something I appreciate. And also with Peace Walker, which this is my, upon just seeing it live, right? My main concern was, because, for the last few games, for the original Master Collection, Snake Eater didn't have its Metal Gear Online variant implemented into it at launch. So I'm like, are we going to get all the cool fucking co-op functionality and multiplayer functionality with Peace Walker? And we are. So even fucking better. Because the servers are still up on like 360 and PS3 and everything. But obviously nobody's on it really. And I don't even think it really worked in the like the traditional matchmaking sense. I believe it was purely player to player. You invited one of your friends on and played it that way, which is the preferable way to play, because one of my reasons I don't really try to play a lot of co-op games with complete fucking randoms is you're putting your faith into someone you've never fucking met before, and you're just at the mercy of the knowledge of if they're a complete fucking retard or not. Sometimes you get lucky and you make a lifelong friendship out of it. But yeah, no, I'm super excited that functionality is being preserved in it. They already kind of confirmed that the Metal Gear Online 2 variant for Guns of the Patriots isn't going to be included. I think it's something they're going to try to add later, because I know that was a super fundamental part of that experience back in the day. But yeah, another great announcement for me as a Metal Gear fan. I'm definitely going to be putting in PTO from work, and I'm not going to be doing jack shit but play that for the whole fucking week. But yeah. Now, before I talk about this last announcement, I just want to say that even if they didn't show this at the showcase or anything like that, I still think this event would have been, 10 out of 10, banger, 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 banger. But they went the extra mile when they didn't have to, and they're like, "Hey, you know that God of War trilogy and the original Greek saga, all that. Yeah, we're gonna remake that, and we're gonna bring back T.C. Carson. Also, out today, cool little 2D Metroidvania side scroller pixel art style God of War game called Sons of Sparta with T.C. Carson voicing Kratos in that as well. And yeah, it's out today. And it's going to take a while for that remake. We still in early development, but it's coming. We want you to know. We're running it back, and it's going to be fucking sick. So yeah, stellar announcement and the showcase on. I know, like I said before, I feel like everybody kind of knows, like, oh, they're gonna bring something towards the end, but I honestly didn't expect them to show something like that. So yeah, an honorable mention I want to talk about right quick is Project Windless. Pretty much Dynasty Warriors, but instead of playing as, a person or anything like that, like a warrior, you're playing as the angry chicken that always beats the shit out of Peter in Family Guy. Need I say more? Anyways, that pretty much concludes my thoughts on the whole thing. I would like to know what y'all's are in the comment section below. Overall, looking like a pretty fucking stacked 2026 in my opinion. If we're getting a bunch of these announcements, along with Gears of War E-Day and Wolverine and Fable and GTA 6 also launching this year, I can't fucking wait, man. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.